Things you'll notice about Minnesota that are different from other states. Ever visited Minnesota and thought, wait, that's different? Whether you're moving here or just passing through, there are a few things that stand out, depending on where you're coming from. Let's talk about the things that make Minnesota, well, uniquely Minnesotan. First up, the weather. Minnesota is one of those rare places where you can experience a minus 30-degree blizzard in winter and a humid 100-degree summer in the same year. If you're from the south, the cold might shock you. If you're from the west coast, the humidity in the summer will be a surprise. Minnesota weather isn't just extreme, it's a whole lifestyle. If you're from a warm state like Arizona, you might be shocked to see people driving on ice. Yes, in the winter, lakes freeze so solid that people park their trucks on them to go ice fishing. It looks insane if you're not used to it, but here, totally normal. Just another winter day in Minnesota. Wild turkeys. One thing you will notice in Minnesota, wild turkeys. Big, bold, and absolutely not afraid of people. If you're from a state where turkeys only show up on Thanksgiving dinner, seeing these giant birds casually walking through neighborhoods or holding up traffic might be a shock. But here, they own the streets, and we just let them. Booyah, the Midwest's ultimate stew and festival fun. If you're not from the Midwest, you might be wondering, what the heck is Booyah? It's a thick, slow-cooked stew packed with meat, veggies, and rich broth, traditionally made in huge batches for community gatherings. But here's the best part. Some of the big Booyah Fests feel like mini carnivals, with games, live music, and local vendors. It's not just a meal, it's a whole experience. So much water. If you're from a dry state, one of the first things you'll notice about Minnesota is just how much water there is. Lakes, rivers, ponds. Seriously, water everywhere. And Minnesotans? They use it like it's endless. If you're from a place with water rationing, seeing someone let the faucet run while brushing their teeth or watering their lawn in the middle of the day might give you a minor heart attack. But here, water conservation just isn't top of mind. Winter parking rules and snow emergencies. Depending on where you're from, winter parking rules might not even be a thing. But here, you better know them or risk your car getting towed. Snow emergencies are declared when there's a big snowfall, and suddenly half the city is scrambling to figure out where they can park. If you're from a warm state, this might be a whole new world of stress. Hockey isn't just a sport, it's a way of life. In Minnesota, hockey isn't just a sport, it's practically a religion. Kids learn to skate as soon as they can walk, and high school hockey is huge. The annual state high school hockey tournament is such a big deal. It fills an NHL arena and even has its own famous hockey hair video. And don't even think about questioning the greatness of Minnesota hockey, unless you want a very passionate debate. Nature everywhere, even in the cities. One of the biggest surprises about Minnesota, especially if you're from a big city, is just how much nature is woven into urban life. We have massive public parks, miles of trails, and even waterfalls right in the city. You can go from the downtown skyline to a peaceful lake or forested trail in minutes. And don't be surprised if you see deer, foxes, or even wild turkeys hanging out in your neighborhood. So, what's the biggest difference that stood out to you? What have you noticed that's totally different from your state? Drop a comment below, we'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get the latest freebies and discounts in the Twin Cities and all things Minnesota. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.